Hi, everybody. This is Travis from The Berm Show. Lower 22 Vets is a social media platform exclusively for active duty and veterans. Connect, communicate, and network with your own. Sign up is free and easy with giveaways each month. Download on Apple Store or Google Play.
Hey man.
Oh, it's been going good, man. How's yours been?
Oh yeah, another wonderful day. It's Friday though. I can't complain.
I
Didn't
know.
work today, so I can't complain.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy it's Friday as well. It's been a long week, so
I bet.
um, yeah. So for everybody joining in, we got fellow Navy veteran here, which is rare. I haven't had many Navy people on. My wife even asked me, she's like, "When's the last time you had a Navy person?" And I'm like, "Crap, you know what? I think I've only had one fellow Navy
Hmm.
alum on here." So we got Thomas Moore here, who's also a purple belt in BJJ, one of the best in the world. Got some tournaments coming up from what you were saying. So yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm excited to dive into a little bit about yourself and how you even got to where you are, because it's crazy. I don't know how you that transition. That's crazy. How does one go from veteran to BJJ? You know?
No, it really just happened because when I first got out, it was September 2011, if I recall right. And when I left there, I was trying to decide: am I going to stay in San Diego, California, or will I move? And where would I move?
Mhm.
So Georgia, I just ended up being a transplant out here to Atlanta, like millions of other people since I came. And the BJJ journey, it was probably 4 or 5 years later, because the transitioning out is like it's that's a whole nother whole nother conversation.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, BJJ started like 2016 when I made it to Georgia. I just happened to see a gym, and then I guess it's kind of similar to who was it, Adam? I think you interviewed, where he
Yeah.
said something about a guy. I wasn't thinking about a guy choking me with his feet or something, man. That if anything, it kind of had me. I don't know. I was lost because I used to just always lift weights, so I was really pondering about it, and then I was just like, I see it as a challenge. So let me go and see what is this BJJ thing about. Because at first I just wanted to do MMA, just to do something to stay like in shape. But then they were like, you have to partake and at least be a blue belt in BJJ before you could do anything MMA wise.
Oh wow.
And once I started doing it, I was like, I'm 30 plus. I probably don't need to be taking shots to the head like that, because the military is enough as a shot to the head. But so that was kind of how I stuck with it, and been doing it ever since. Like it's been a long journey. Even though they call it a gentle sport, it's pretty intense.
Oh, I bet. And then I mean, I tried it for like a month when I first got out of the Navy, and I got humbled pretty quick. And I was like, I'm not sure if I like this or not. I was a purple belt as well. All I remember is he was a purple belt. He's an older guy, kind of chubby. I was like, okay. I was like,
Oh
I think
man,
I was 22, and he had to be like in his 40s or 50s. I was like, okay, I can just like athletic my way out of this
yeah.
situation. But man, he was just wrapping me up like a pretzel. Every time I tried to move out, there seemed like there was a freaking a forearm around something or a leg around something. I was like, what is going on? I was like,
Oh
this.
yeah.
And then
No,
that's where I've gained the respect of, like, you just don't mess with anybody on the street, because like this old man looks like he's just some old man until he grabs you and then you're unconscious, you know?
definitely. Yeah, mine was different, because see, like I said, in the military, all you was doing, because I was in Afghan before I ended up going back to San Diego, probably a couple months before I got out. So GNC was just sending unlimited amount of products. So we're just on creatine, protein, lifting weights when you're not crossing the wire, or either what is it, detainee operations. So yeah, I was pretty strong. So I was going against a little Asian fella named Peter Chow. What is it? Peter something. I'm trying to remember Peter last name. Peter, like 145, 150, man. And he was a purple belt. Of course, he kept choking me, but I kept prying out because I was strong. But eventually you get fatigued because the muscle weight don't benefit you. And this is a strength slash cardio slash get you in awkward positions where you don't have to use as much strength. Then the technique kind of benefits. That was kind of peeing me off though, because I was like, man, how's this little dude just steady choking me up, man? And I can't get him off my back. I can't get him, from steady maneuvering around me. And
Yeah.
that was probably what really had me intrigued in a way. Had me pissed, but intrigued, but like I was humble. I wasn't pissed on some how he beat me. I was more pissed, like, damn, I thought I would have performed better. Like, I thought I
Yeah.
was an athlete, yeah, in the military, but lifting weights and just passing a PT is
Yeah.
quite different. Yeah.
That's very different. I mean, yeah, PT. I mean, we apply it to like MMA or anything. Like it's funny. My
No.
first job when I got out of the Navy, I was working at Lowe's when I first got out. I was going to
Yeah.
college and I was working in Garden in San Diego at the Mission Valley Mall down or area Lowe's down there. I saw
I bet.
Dominic Cruz. I saw Dominic Cruz getting soil, like some garden soil or something, and I was like, I remember telling everybody, like, man, that guy can just like mop everybody in here, and he's so little. He's like the
He
smallest
is.
man I've ever met in
He
my
looks
life.
petite. Yeah, yeah. He looks actually, yeah, but
But I
he's
was like,
quick.
I wouldn't mess with that guy. That's all. That's all I know. And it was like around the same time I got, just rolled up by the older guy. So I was like, this sport in general is so weird because it's so misleading. Like even today, I saw something Yo Romero actually won, and I was like, man, he's still kicking, But that's
Yeah,
just so crazy about the sport. Like, I mean, he's built like a superhero, but
he
like
is.
the sport is so weird in that sense that it's like some a lot of guys might not look extremely swole or jacked like you'd see in other sports or whatever, but their technique and they got like different muscle fibers being used, like a
Exactly.
like a Cain Velasquez is one of those guys I always think of. Kind of chubby,
Hmm.
but man, he had the motor of like nobody else when he was healthy. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, so I kind of want to dive into what into your Navy history and stuff. So what were the inspirations for you to join in the good old American Navy?
Well, the inspirations was I grew up in a small town, Marshall, Texas, and I couldn't get like a full like sports scholarship for like track and like the rest of the academics at a big school like I wanted to. So University of Texas and trying to think of the other ones. There's a few other ones where I was like, damn, they didn't give me a full scholarship, and I'm not trying to go if I'm not getting a full ride. And that's really where I shifted and was like, hey, I tell you what, I'm gonna actually go to the military. And my mom didn't want me to go at all. I mean, like she was begging me not to go. And Navy just happened to be the branch I chose because it was big on a lot of National Guard influence out there. But I don't think I would have tried any of the like the reservists. Like whatever branch I would have applied to, it would have had to be full active duty. And of course, once you get out, and like I said, lifting a lot, everybody swear I'm in the Army or Marines. Yeah, because because I guess Navy they think we're just gonna be fat like truck drivers or something. So I don't know where that myth started. Because even back in the day, I didn't think they were fat. Usually we just drink a lot. I guess that myth is well, maybe that one is true. Yeah,
that that
but
one's true.
that was the reason why I joined though. Because I didn't get a full scholarship, and then I just said, "Hey, you know what? I'll go ahead and serve my country," and that was how I went. Because 9/11 had happened my senior year at the beginning, but at that time I still didn't have my mind made up because you're in high school. My
Mhm.
mind wasn't made up. Like I ran into other patriots while we were in the military saying, "Hey, I already have my mind made up." I was like, "Hey, I didn't even know what I decided. It was probably right after right after New Year's or something when I said, you know what, I'm tired of waiting around, so I'll go ahead and talk to this Navy recruiter, take the ASVAB, and see where it goes.
That's kind of the cool thing about like I'm one of those ones that had their mind made up, like I was going to go military. But
Mm-hmm.
having talked to a number of folks already, it's all different for everybody. Like some folks are like, yeah, I was like 20 something, and my life wasn't just like kind of like you're saying, you know, it's like I just need to do something. So like I'm going to join the military,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's what's so cool about it. I think like everybody has like this perception that it is like like at a super young age, like man, that's what I'm going to do. I mean, I even lollygagged when I graduated high school. I had that whole like, do I really want to do it phase? But then I was like, all right,
Yeah.
you know, I've lived out or was out of college or high school long enough to know that this kind of sucks. Like the grind's different.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, everybody's journey is a little bit different too. But the fact that you did it is freaking awesome. You know, how many people get to
Did
say
you
that?
join right away?
I joined. Um, so I graduated in May, and then I actually signed up in like September of 2007. And then I went to boot camp in February. So I had like that long layoff where they kind of like let you work out and stuff and with the recruiters.
Mm-hmm.
Even then I was like, there's some times where I was like, do I really want to do this? You know, it's like I was living in Texas at the time and I was just like, I don't really
Oh,
know.
what part, man?
Um like northwest on the border of like Oklahoma. It was a small town,
Amarillo.
Caddo Mills.
Okay,
Nobody.
because I used to pass through Amarillo when I used to go to Oklahoma City a lot. But yeah, that's the only reason why I remember that.
It's a small town. Yeah, I grew up in California. I lived here my whole life, and in my last year of high school, my folks moved out there. I went
Mm-hmm.
from a small school in California, like I grew up in the country, and then moved out there, and I went from like a small school to an even smaller school. I graduated with like 40 people. I was like, what the?
Oh, you was okay, yeah, like a
Yeah,
2A, 1A. Okay.
yeah. One of
Now,
those
what part of California is SoCal or North Cal?
NorCal,
Oh, it's
NorCal.
definitely different up there. Yeah, the Bay Area, all that stuff. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, way. So we're like, I grew up east of that, so it's like all rural and agriculture and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. California is a weird state like that. It got a little bit of everything. You know, you got the beaches, the
Exactly.
mountains, and yeah, the country area. Like we had horses, or they still do. My folks have horses and all that
Mm-hmm.
good stuff. You know, so it's funny because like when you're in boot camp or you go to A school and stuff, and they give you like a list of places you can kind of pick. I think where
Yeah,
they're doing that.
that dream list. Well, I think that's what they called it for us.
It's a
Knowing where
BS
they're gonna
list.
send us, but they told us you have a list, like you have options.
That list is all lies. I put
I
California
swear,
on
man.
the bottom. I was like, I'm from California. I want to get the hell out of here. And I got stationed in Coronado. I was like, oh, this is great.
Wow. That was my last location was North Coronado. Yeah,
Oh,
man.
where were you stationed at, or what?
Fast Fact San Diego, but we was on Coronado, so it's like a radar facility. Because my job when I was in the Navy was air traffic controlling, and when I ended up getting, well, I'm trying to think where do I start. So let me start it out from the beginning. Yeah, when we're talking about the Navy, so I can tell the story right. So when I finally got out of high school, I had to wait a few months, like you, to October. So I graduated the end of May. So I had to wait to October. So what I did, I worked at like a Waterburger or something. I didn't do like the little PT things because if I knew that, I would have did it. So I would have started off like E3. But I waited to October, and when I went to boot camp, I was so used to seeing everybody showing the shows like what is a Full Metal Jacket, thinking, "Oh, this is about to be the worst shit. Let me be prepared." So of course, the first day they drag you around just filling out paperwork, but they keep you up to like what 2 in the morning, and then they wake you up at 5. You remember, or it was some maybe that's how they did us in '02. But
It was like that. It was brutal.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was the first day that was probably the worst because I had to piss like hell when they told us taps because I was like, what is taps? And they said, yeah, that means you got to get into bed. And then I said, damn, I got to piss, but they wanted you to wait to a drug test. So my first day sucked because I was damn near about to piss myself. Kept walking, pacing back and forth, couldn't sleep because, like I said, they wanted you to wait so everybody could drug test that first day. And That's probably the biggest relief out of everything was when I finally got to take that piss, because I was over there like on the wall, man. Legs was shaking like I can't hold it anymore. But man, there's actually cats who walked in the corner pissing on some random stuff. That was, but you know how it is. Military is extreme. But after the first couple weeks of boot camp, you get used to the routine. So it wasn't so bad. Other than me leaving Texas, I was in Chicago during the wintertime. So that was a different type of cold, the windy city, and yeah, wearing a scarf. I wasn't familiar with that. Hands cracking, I guess, because the wind and all that. I wasn't familiar with that part. But after boot camp, because I was a grad and go, I was able to go home. So that's cool. But went to A school out there in Pensacola.
Oh yeah.
And I was out there like 6 months because the air traffic controlling school, we had a high fail rate, but we also had like a little wait time, I guess, because a lot of undesignated people would try to go there as well. So I think I waited like a month and a half before school started. And then school was like 3 months or something, 4 months, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, which I had a lot of fun in Pensacola, I partied everywhere I went. I ain't gonna lie about it. Because I was 17 when I first signed up, and my birthday came in April. So that's why my mom was like, "No, I don't want to do it." And I said, "Well, when my birthday hit, I'm gonna sign up for the Navy anyway because I'll be 18." But yeah, I know I'm going back and forth. But
No, you're good. Yeah, it's funny because moms are the ones that always freak out, man. My mom was the same way.
man,
Everybody's
yeah,
mom. Everybody says their mom. Nobody talks about their dad or grandpa, uncle. Nobody. It's either like grandma or mom are just like, They're just
yeah.
like so anti doing it. I don't know what the deal is. It's funny.
Maybe dads do it more with the women. So we'll probably have to ask more women to get their point of view with it.
True.
Maybe, I don't know. I know me as a dad, I'm kind of different. Yeah, uh, yeah, maybe I'm like the Navy was. I'm more of a deterrent when it comes to like getting on the kids. I'm gonna deter you from wanting to do any of this type of stuff. While the wife is more, nah. Yeah, the wife is very friendly. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. My wife is yeah, she'll let them have everything.
See,
I
I'm
want
like,
them to earn it so they know what it's like to earn something. But she's like, let's just give it to them. I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that.
see, I'm like that. I say that, but then I do the opposite. Especially with my daughter, my son, I'm a little bit harder on. I think.
Mhm.
Like I don't know why, but I hold him to a higher standard. He's a firstborn kid, so I'm just like, hey,
Okay.
dude, like this is you gotta set like be a role model almost. But my daughter, man, she just like does stuff and she's knocking stuff off and she starts smiling at me. I'm like, I can't even get mad. Like, come on,
What's the gap? What's the age difference?
She just turned 1 to 3 years, 3 year difference.
Ah.
So yeah, I'm a
Oh, okay.
sucker.
Okay.
I'm a sucker, man. When it
So
comes
you gonna
to
have more kids, or you done?
that's a wrap, man.
Man, I
If
told
I
my
do,
wife the same thing, man. We're at 5, and she's talking about I want more. And
hey, you're
and that's
still
the
alive.
thing. Yeah,
You're still
well,
alive.
man, I should have got my stuff snipped, so it wouldn't be an option. I don't mean to talk too Navy. Why, how we don't keep it Disney in the military, but yeah, man, I should have got it snipped because yeah, my wife want to have more. Like we're doing well when you compare it to statistics in America. I just leave it at that. We're doing very well where all the kids got it made. They're spoiled in my eyes, but I want them to earn it because I feel like when you earn it, you appreciate it more. Maybe that's, I don't know if that's like the militant side or maybe because I had to grind. So now that I grind, they're able to they're spoiled, man.
Yeah.
All of them got a tablet. I'll give you the ages: 14, 12, 11, 5, 4. You
Oh
have to
man.
think about it sometime. And all of them have a TV in their room. All of them have a tablet. The older ones have the top 3 have a phone. So it's like I'm not happy about it, yo. Personally, it's the wife though.
It's different than when we're growing up, man. Like,
Yeah, man. I'm gonna take my car back. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do.
because
Cause
I
she,
man, like my dad is the same way. Like with us, he grew up like in the projects and stuff. So he's like, you guys got it easy, man. Like you guys have everything you want. And you know, when you're growing up and you're like, whatever, you don't really pay attention to that stuff. But you look
Definitely.
back and you're like, damn, like, thank God he made us work because we did have everything. Like, I mean, he busts
Mhm.
his ass for us
Yeah,
to have stuff. But now, kind of like you, like you're saying, I think it gets like easier. Like once your parents, everybody moves up. Like every generation slowly moving up. Because man,
definitely.
I'm in my son's room actually right now doing this. I just like look around right now and just like, damn, this kid got so much stuff, man. Like
Yeah, man.
there's just stuff for days. It's crazy.
No, because like you said, I grew up in a small town like Marshall, Texas. My mom's mom had cows, pigs, made lye soap, uh, stuff like that. So I'm like I grew up walking down a trail to the other parent to the grandparent house. So it was kind of different when I say I grew up in the country. Yeah, man. So that's why I said yeah, it's better staying in the city, of course, because you got everything. You don't want to be priming a well or anything during the winter time, of course.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's what.
they'll never be able to see that part because technology, the way we going, man, you'll have these iron boards probably ironing your clothes for you by the
Shoot.
time they're grown. Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna have holograms right here instead of us actually sitting here talking.
Hey, seriously, man, being like, man, I miss my mom, my dad. Hologram cut on. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
But
it's funny because I was like, when you were saying how like every place you went in the Navy, like you partied and stuff.
definitely.
I did the same thing. Like I think it's part of like the small town mentality, and then you get to like a Pensacola, where it's. I mean, you could drink on the beaches and stuff. I don't know how it is in Texas, but California, it's like really. I'm pretty sure it's against the law to do it. Drink
Just
technically
like
drink.
Virginia. Virginia was real tough on us out there. Like man, they start, yeah, you couldn't do much out there in Virginia no more. Like women couldn't really like wear bathing suits walking around. You got to like throw on clothes before you hit the bars again because the bars right there on the strip. But
Oh,
yeah, but the Navy's out there though. You know, we are, that's Virginia's a stronghold. Virginia Beach and Norfolk. So that's probably what it was. Bunch of sailors made them change the policies.
some of those stereotypes might be true, man. Like
Yeah,
about
yeah.
sailors, like I thought it was like my grandpa was in the Navy. I thought some of it was like BS. I'm like, how is it?
Yeah.
Even you're new to a ship, I'm not
Hmm.
sure how it was for you, but like the guys have already been on a deployment and stuff, they're like, oh man, just wait till we get to this place. I'm not gonna go into details, but they tell you like these crazy stories, and it's like, there's no way that happens there. And then you go there and you see it, and it's like, holy crap, that does happen. Like nobody would ever believe you. Like for
Yeah, your
anybody.
friends who never left the country at that time. Yeah, like your younger friends who, yeah, who like. Let me think. Well, cause see, I kind of got in trouble when I finally was able to do, and I only went to the ship because I wanted to go to Australia. Other than that, because I was air traffic controller, so we could go to. I was in Suda Bay Creek, Greece, when I
Oh,
left,
nice.
or let me say Pensacola. I went to Virginia Beach, Virginia, just so I could name all the duty stations because I wasn't at any of them longer than 2 years. So after A school, I was there 6 months in Pensacola. I went to Virginia Beach, Virginia from 2003 to 2005. And from Pensacola, from Virginia Beach, Virginia, they kept saying, all right, you need to go to a ship. If you say you plan on making this a career, you need to go to a ship, get your air surface pen. That's all I remember them saying. And I was like, man, I done heard horror stories about them ships. So I went to Suda Bay Creek, Greece. So I was stationed in Greece, but it counted as sea duty because it's an isolated duty station. So while I was out there a year, you get to see the culture of the locals out there. And of course, I think they sent me to Sicily a couple of times, which that's another like isolated duty station if you would have been out there. But you get to see how they get to live different overseas or what they call third world countries compared to what we do stateside.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that being said, as much as I enjoyed every country I went to, it's nothing like being home. Everybody might joke about it, but hey, it's nothing like being back stateside after you could enjoy yourself, but like I say, it's still a different lifestyle when you're overseas. But after Suda Bay Creek, Greece, I went to the Stennis. And I only went to the Stennis because they said they was going on a Westpac, and Australia was in a Westpac, and that's the only reason why I went.
You didn't go, huh?
I Westpac. I think we ended up having to relieve the Nimitz or the Ike,
When was this?
and they was in Fifth Fleet because of that Iraq war. Yeah, so I feel, man, when the CEO gave us steaks, we knew something was coming up. And then that's when the announcement came. When you get the steak and lobster, it's all you. They're just buttering you up because they're about to give you that non-skid dildo, as we used to call it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But that's when he said, "Oh yeah, our West Coast pack, as far as going to Thailand, which that wasn't. It wasn't on my bucket list, but the legendary stories I heard about Thailand, it became on my list.
Phuket.
And
It was Phuket, Thailand. Probably.
so we didn't get to go. We didn't go to Taiwan, Thailand, or Australia.
Oh,
We didn't get to go anywhere. Only place we got to go was Singapore, Dubai like 6 or 7 times, of course.
yeah.
And see, after Singapore, I couldn't get off in Hong Kong. So of course, I'm looking at everybody hop on their little boats. I'm hearing the stories about what happened out there in Hong Kong, and I got to just sit on the bow all sad watching them because I was hungry because I want to shorten this story up. I was hungry, but I had a buddy who been to Singapore a few times, and he said, "All right, man, we're gonna grab something to eat, but then we're going to the bar." And and we ended up just going. Long story short, we went straight to the bar. And since we were leaving the Fifth Fleet, finally, everybody had a lot of money saved up, so they had pictures of liquor left and right. So as soon as we make it in there. People was just trying to serve me left and right because yeah, and everything went black. It was like the hangover. So basically when I woke up in front of security and they was when I woke up saying, "Hey, give my ID back," everything went black again. And then the drunk watches over me, and yeah, man, so I wasn't able to get off at Hong Kong, which was our next stop a week later. Probably not even that long. So that kind of sucked because I only seen Singapore that first day and stuff went dark.
Yeah, you missed out. Like, yeah, I was on the Nimitz, so it's kind of funny. I wonder if
That's 68, right? CVN
Yeah,
68.
yeah,
Okay.
68. Yeah,
I knew a couple of them on there. What year were you on there?
I got there in 08. Our deployment was 09 to 2010, I think, or crossed over a little bit.
You know what? I think I had I forgot what his rate was, but Reginald Swift. I remember Reginald Swift was on there and Takesha Williams. Yeah, I remember them too.
Yeah, it was.
They was on the tennis with me. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to go to all those places. The same thing though. They told us like, "Oh, we're gonna hit Hawaii before going to Japan." No, we blew right past Hawaii. It's like, nope. See you later, Hawaii. Oh, we're gonna go to Australia, and then the CEO gets on. He's like, "Oh, everybody, we're not gonna go to Australia, but we're gonna extend the deployment." And it's like, "Oh, there we go. We're getting extended." But yeah, we went to Singapore. Hong Kong was the last place before he came back stateside.
So how was Hong Kong since I only was able to look at it from the bow?
Hong Kong is crazy because there's so many different things going on in Hong Kong. I mean, like, I don't know how to describe it without getting myself in trouble. But
we both married men, so
it's one of those places where it's wild, but it feels like controlled at the same time. Like it's madness, but it's like
Amsterdam. Because see, when I was out of the military when me and my wife went to Amsterdam, but
yeah, I mean, like I remember you get on the little tugboat and you're going, because they park the carrier out in the water. So you take the little boats, everybody's all excited, and and then it's easy to jump from the little was it like a little floating thing onto where you're like, oh, this is easy, just hop right on, and take off. And coming back though, man, that's such a nightmare. Everybody's drunk already, and one of my buddies stole like a bunch of shot glasses from the bar, so they're like rolling around on the little tugboat thing, and then the Hong Kong police boat came up to our little thing, and he started freaking out. He's like, "Oh my god," and but yeah, everybody trying to jump back onto the little platform, and you could see it, man. Everybody's just rocking back and forth, trying to get that perfect leap, because if you miss it, man, this people don't understand this. Like if you weren't,
they don't.
If you miss it,
your sea legs is different than being on land. You got to time that little jump.
Or else you're going straight in, and you're drunk, so it's like, I
man.
can't imagine how cold that water was at that time too.
Man.
But Hong Kong was cool. Yeah, we went to Thailand, Phuket, Thailand, that's where I heard all these stories, and that's where they were all true. And maybe even
I was actually going to fly out there right before. It might have been after. Yeah, it is after COVID. I was going to fly out there, but the flights was ridiculous. Like I was going to do it right before the flights decided to just rocket up. I forgot what happened, but they skyrocketed, and we was going to Japan for the Olympics before COVID hit. Like when we found out about it, so we ended up we just basically got credits for both of them, because
man, that sucks, because Japan's awesome. Like if there's a place I would go back to, like no problem. I think because Japan was the first country I went to.
You write this down. If you want to tell me something good about it.
It was awesome, man. Like we took where did we park though? We started in
excuse me.
Man, the guys on my ship are going to be pissed. I can't remember where we parked, but we ended up taking the little train to Tokyo and stuff. And
so Tokyo, but I thought there was like the tourist area. Don't you usually want to go to like cities outside of it, or Tokyo is fine?
Tokyo was awesome. I mean, that's where I wish I would have done another deployment, because I only did my 4 years, and everybody said like your first deployment's where you kind of party it up and you don't really do any of the cool stuff, which I wish I would have done more of now, like in retrospect, because I'm older. But at 19 years old, 18 years old, you're like, man, I'm just trying to get hammered, But Hong Kong was cool. I really liked Hong Kong. I had ice cream in a pouch in Hong Kong. Never seen that before. It's like a pouch, and you know how like
a bag pouch,
like those kids fruit things that they have,
Oh, in there. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of like that in the vending machine. So that was kind of cool. I still got a Coke can from Japan that I kept from a vending machine. But Japan was awesome. I would definitely go back. My buddy stole. Man, I had one friend that was just stealing. Now I'm thinking about it. That dude was stealing everywhere.
Every time you mention your buddy, it's good you're not saying his name, because every time you said we went there, he stole. Like, why?
Oh, yeah. He'll
no
know.
Reason.
So they like the boot that they drink out of, like the glass boot, and beer fest. So we went to a bar and they had that there, and we all drank from it. And I think he had to buy it, but he put it like straight in his backpack. He just wanted like straight.
Now, see, you know what? I don't. That's kind of trivial, because I could see us doing that as sailors. Like, man, I just want the cup, man.
Yeah.
I never did it, but I that one there, that's not bad in my eyes. That's something I think just happens when you're drinking.
Yeah, I mean, we did a lot of that, as you can imagine. Like you know how it is. Yeah, like I've had those moments where you black out and you wake up. It's like, how did you get there? I woke up in a bathtub one time. I don't even remember how I got there. It happened, it happens to anybody. Navy people, this happens to. I'm not sure about other branches, but there's one thing Navy folks can do that other branches can't. I'd put in a drinking contest. I'd get any sailor any day of the week. I'd get the youngest one, because those ones they're building up that tolerance, man. When you're 18,
yeah, their liver is fresh in there. Yeah, man. they I think it's our ignorance to prove ourselves. Yeah, our pride would make us push our limits. There you go.
Oh yeah.
We call it, what do we call it? Liver training. Yeah, back when I was in the military, we was like, yeah, we're finna go liver training, man. And that was with the medical staff, though, because you make it back to the ship, my buddy be plugged up to an IV playing Madden, because you like, what the world? Yeah, because you go in the medical area, and maybe that's some other branches. I'm sure other branches that is similar. Yeah, when I made it to the ship, luckily, because Virginia was my first station, and I was only there a year and 8 months. Luckily, some of them was like, "Man, you just don't know. You was able to come to shore duty first. How spoiled you are!" Like they kept giving me that talk, and it's just like, "Hey, when you go to the ship, it's gonna be like this. You need to make friends with the cooks." So
Oh yeah.
luckily, they were saying it in a sarcastic way, but luckily, I took heed to their advice. So when I made it to the ship, I became close to all the cooks, all the medical people, all the supply guys. So when people talk about being on the ship, I was that guy. I was the guy on the air and surface board where if you wanted your pen, you know who to talk to. So basically, what I did, I took heed to what everybody told me, and I said, "All right, I want to learn how to do that, but I want to be the guy doing it though. Yeah, like I want to be the guy running it because I was like, I hear one guy can run the ship. I wasn't the guy running the ship, but I always knew whoever was running whatever it is running. Yeah, so I always had my little tuna packets because we were out. We were in what was it called? Fifth Fleet for a long. Out of the 8.5 months we were out there like 6. So we were out there suffering like the bread. You know how the bread started getting bad. All you getting is rice and chicken. So of course I had to keep the cooks who worked in the chief's mess or the officer mess. Had to keep them on board. So they'll bring me like wings or they'll bring us what is it? Grilled cheeses. I think was big. Yeah. So
Oh man,
because air traffic controllers was right under the deck. So every time the plane land, you got to hear it just like the ABs. You're hearing it smacking, but we were pretty spoiled. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. As air traffic controller, I could have wore dress whites, and my dress whites weren't gonna get dirty on the carrier. On the carrier, but of course, I was trying to figure out ways to wear the coveralls because they were so convenient. Maybe it kind of sucked if you're taking a poop because you got to take the whole thing off.
yeah. So it's on
You
the
might not ever
floor.
hear somebody say that, but that's the part where it do suck because you're like, ah, Lee, I don't want to touch the floor, man.
That's true.
But yeah, good. I was only on there, like I said, I was on there only a year and 9 months, but that deployment, like I say, is it's an experience I'll always remember is the ship deployment and boots on ground deployment. But so back to what I was saying with the Navy. Now that we're back in there, after I left the Stennis for that year and 9 months, I went to where did I go? Dang, that's 06 to 08. Then I went to San Diego, California, and that was when I was at Coronado at Fastback, San Diego. And when I had a year and a half left, I took an IA billet because I was like, oh, I'm gonna save money. And everybody was saying, oh, we go to Bahrain,
Oh yeah.
we go to basically they went to all like the spots where you just isolated, but you're getting paid for IA billet, like you're getting extra pay and you're just letting your money stack and you're just sitting there. So I figured, if it's gonna be anything like Greece was, except I'm kind of being like more of a dry area from what I heard about Bahrain, I'll take it. And lo and behold, I was the one lucky sailor who got boots on ground with the army in Afghan. And I was like, man, how the hell this mess happened? Because
What the hell?
they didn't even tell me this was a option. But around that time, was it changing hearts and minds or whatever the phrase was? Army always had some random phrase, and Army was different. Let me say that about Army too. Now I'm talking about it. Army. How do I
In a
say it?
good way or a bad way?
I guess you know what, because I'm trying to figure out how to say it. Because I love all my vets, all my branches, but Army, it's like they got treated like shit, but they was very loyal to say that, you know, like when chain of command say do this, yes sir, yes sir, you know, when the E5's in it, they're like yes sir, or yes
Shoot.
sir, you know, when the officer's saying it. And then, you know, you see Air Force, they're always yes ma'am, yes sir with everything. And well, Marines, I guess Marines are pretty militant. Vice, Navy. After you're in there, like you only did the 4, I did 10. As you you was on the ship though. So as you get around certain ones, you start realizing, dang, we're not as militant as Army is. Like Army, I'm surprised them guys haven't been more irate because they, when I say when I was in Afghan, a new group of Air Force came in. They brought the Army out of that Connex box, which the Connex box is where you want to be because it's kind of like a little shack while you're out there in the desert. They brought them out of the Connex box to put Air Force in there and put them in the tent. So I was like, man, y'all getting treated like shit on y'all own part. Like, cause we is a detachment to Bagram. So Bagram's the Air Force base, but we were in like a black hole outside of it. And that was basically an Army fort. So
Damn.
yeah, cause everything over there is pretty dark 30, so you can't give out details about stuff over there. But of course, where I was at, we was doing detainee ops, so we had all the all the people you heard about, that the ones that killed the sailors who decided to go joyriding. Uh, Everyone's accountant that you didn't heard of on a tourist terrorist list. So we had a lot of high clientele people over there. So that part kind of sucked because that meant we couldn't be around anybody. The area we was at, like we couldn't just roam like everybody else from what I was. No, maybe down there in the South Afghan, they wasn't roaming too well, but they were the ones who, when I ran into a contractor, electrician, they were the ones who had the liquor. And once again, I'm a sailor, so when I found out, hey, you have the liquor, I was like, hey man, well, since you be I guess driving around here and there, why don't you bring it up this way? We're kind of dry out here, man. So, oh man, but yeah, I'm not gonna talk about those stories. Maybe that'll make us look. Maybe that'll be too real for people who's if a civilian just watching it, they're just like, I knew they was over there having fun. But
Yeah.
you'll think we having fun until you talk about the part where you're getting bombed. Because the first time I got bombed, it it's not like the damn movies. I seen somebody who because I only glanced at a portion of it. I seen like 2 or 3 interviews. I heard somebody saying they heard bombs, and I was like, I hear it in movies, but I'm here to say, when maybe the part Afghan I was at, because we had the fuel field, we're not too far from the landing strip, but we was in like the black hole, like we was away from everything, but like we had the stuff there. They were bombing the shit out of us, and if you heard the bomb, they were like, hey, don't even run to the shelter because you're not gonna make it. Yeah, they say it's not like the movies where you get to hear that. You
Was it
hear
just
the
a hit?
bomb.
Is that what happens? You don't hear nothing till it actually hits the
And
ground, or
only thing I recall, whenever we was getting the mortars and stuff, I don't recall hearing anything. Now, I think what we called it, a couple Army people called it the G force. Once it hits the ground and you feel that little impact that hits you, usually where the marbles and stuff come out, but then the wind, that's the only thing I never was unfortunate enough to get where it struck down, and then I felt the marbles or the tacks, all the nails they throw inside of them. I never felt that, but I done felt like detonations where, it's blowing, like it's gonna knock you off your feet because the bursts of wind is just that potent. I was fortunate enough, yeah, I say, not to be caught up by that, and I did what is it, 3, because we had to volunteer since it was a small group of Navy people out there with Army to do a convoy. We had to volunteer, and our convoys was more. We was moving a high end officer to go see, like a local national, and they would drink that nasty ass tea. Which, if you don't drink the tea, it's disrespectful. And I was just like, shit, man. Like I just wanted to do the convoy because shit, if I'm out here, I might as well get some. But damn, that shit was torture in its own though. And man, they have some shit out there they call foot bread. Why? Because the bread was good. I never ate it again after I ate it though. Why did somebody tell me, you know how they actually make it? And I was like, how they make it?
Oh
Because
man,
yeah, man, when they say they put them nasty ass feet on it, man,
they put their
I felt
what?
motion sickness / everything else hit me so hard, man. Like I was feeling green. I was throwing up. I was like, oh man, why the fuck you didn't tell me that before I started eating the bread? Because it was good though. You know how it is. It's kind of like I'll eat chitlins, but how you hear people say, yeah, I won't eat chitlins because you tell me what it is. I'll eat chitlins, but
Yeah,
like I say, when you see the local nationals move the way they move, man, and wiping the ass with the hand, you know, like I can't, man. We can't be palming up, buddy. We can't even fist pump, man. You know, like I was one of those. Hey, man, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Respect. You know, or what do we say? I'm trying to think. So I think they'll just say salam. I think we was just saying salam, or I learned the language good enough to hold a poor conversation. Let's say how you doing and where you from, stuff like that. I learned the language good enough to do all that. I still remember the Pashto Dari, some of the Sunni language, but yeah, it was just different. And yeah, it's just different though, man, because you out there and you got to be on high alert. But after you out there so long, I would say the adrenaline is still there. You just don't feel it anymore because you've been out there so long, and I think you adapt to your surroundings.
mm.
So at the beginning, the first bombing, when we ran to the shelter, I was so my anxiety or whatever it was so high, I fell asleep. Cause I was damn near about to shit on myself because I'm like, damn, man, we getting bombed. Our first, I guess they bombed because they know a new plane coming in, but we usually come in at night and they got to do like a comeback landing. So you in this big ass plane or the C-130s, they're cold as fuck. Let me say that first off, because I'm a loyal Delta flyer, million-mile flyer. So I done been on planes where they saying, hey, the air conditioning going out or something, or hey, we're gonna have to do a emergency land. And then I was a controller, so when he relaying it, I understand what he's saying. I done been through bad situations, but that C-130 is fucking horrible. Only thing was good is it was 100 plus people on the plane, so you're hugging shoulders, trying to have some type of heat. Because once you up there in altitude, I mean, my toes was damn numb. I was that damn cold. Like, man, it sucked.
Yeah, that's one of those
But
things that
Army usually always on there, and I just happen to be on there because we roll with the Army.
that's one of those things they never talk about. Like when they show those videos too, everybody looks so jacked and like happy to jump out of there and stuff. Like the paratroopers and stuff, they're like, "Yeah, let's
Shit, they probably
go."
want to get out of that fucking plane, and you probably feel better jumping out.
They're like, "Shit, it's so cool! I can't wait to jump the hell out of here."
Oh
This
yeah. Well, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm afraid of heights. With all that being said, but I told my wife let's go skydiving, but I don't know, man. I'm that guy who probably start looking over there, it's like, oh, why did I do this? And probably wouldn't jump off, man.
So is that
But
why you ended up? Because at 10 years, I mean, most people like when they say like, "Oh, I re-enlisted, I'm gonna might as well just stay in," you know. So is that why you kind of led to you getting out after 10 years? Was like, man, this shit sucks. Or
well, I think because I was able to talk to some people who was out, because it seemed like it's nothing against it, but I think some people when you're in the military, they get locked in that military mindset and think that's the only type of income. So as an air traffic controller, I'm hearing other people who got out and they're making 200,000. So I'm like, whoa, damn, I'm only making 45. And
oh,
I trained you. You know what I'm saying? So that was what made me think about getting out. But going to Afghan, like I said, with Army and getting treated like I was in the Army, that was an even bigger motivator where I said, hey, even when I thought about riding it out, and what was it? They awarded me a Petty Officer of the Fifth Fleet Award, like the entire Fifth Fleet, like that was Army, Air Force, Marines. I ended up getting that because in my position, I was doing what the E7s, E8s, O2s, O3s was supposed to be doing. Like it was Barack Obama in there at that time. I was basically they delegated it, but I was basically doing a job, like I said, at that position when the highest I ever was taking the test for the E6.
Oh wow.
So I was doing that position and reporting, sending like data on our what new inmates we or detainees we got, because they're not considered an inmate until you know what I'm saying, you read them their rights and they go through court. So what detainees we have, their status, because even if a cook, let's say one of them get food poisoning, they're investigating the cooks, which it's a lot of stuff I frowned upon. Yeah, because
Mhm.
a detainee getting food poisoning when the veteran or when the people in the military, the food we're getting served while we're in the war zone is shit, and the MREs gave me fucking hemorrhoids, so I'm pissed at MREs. So
Damn.
when our stuff is like that, but whenever I'm in the detainee ops and I'm checking on the detainees, man, they were feeding them pretty damn good, is all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say they was getting fed like a 5-star restaurant, but when you look at the food we was giving them compared to the mess hall, the detainees is getting fed better, and you don't want to tell the other people in the military. Matter of fact, that might have been, thinking about detainees, that might have been the worst experience out of getting bombed or running a convoy where you got your adrenaline pumping and shit. Transporting a detainee to the hospital had to be one of the hardest things
Mhm.
I did while I was in the military. Rather than dealing with a detainee after you heard about, or when you hear them saying "f you" because you're American. If I get out, I'm gonna kill you. All that stuff. The hardest thing is walking a detainee through a hospital, and you have soldiers who missing a limb, slobbing, crying, crawling out the bed because they want to kill that detainee. But you got to tell them, hey, man, I can't let you do it, because if you do that, then they're going to dishonorably discharge me. And yeah, that's probably the hardest part out of all of it. Like I said, that stuck with me the most is you seeing somebody missing limbs, and I was always one who said, hey, if I mess around and get shot in the face while I'm out there, man, just take me out, because I'm finna be on some retarded shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And because y'all are all pretty candid when you're in there, and then people do weird shit. Like pissing in the ammo thing. Like, why the hell would you do that when we need the ammo? But when you're in the desert, you don't want to get out because that won't go too well. You don't want to stop. Yeah, so that's what you got to do. But yeah, that part, like I said, sticks with me more than anything, because just seeing their face, and they'll probably understand it, let's say some years later, but at that moment they're not gonna understand you saying, all right, you can't do it, even though I know you're missing your arm up to your shoulder, or you're missing both of your legs to your kneecap, and you're crawling, hell, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Yeah, that part really sucked, and I think that's the part fucks with a lot of people out there mentally, and they got to find a better way, because I always was saying while I was out there, and of course I don't want to sound like I'm complaining about it the whole time, but it falls on deaf ears about, hey, you can't have us and detainees in the same hospital, man. That's bad. I don't know who. Well, I know why they did it. And I don't want to speak on that because that'll be a whole nother issue, man. They might reach out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not maybe off the record though. We could talk about that. But I'm
Okay.
not fine about that because when I got out when I got out, I actually thought about being active on like the lobbyist side for veterans. But I didn't know as much about being a veteran then because see, all I had was an active duty mindset when I first got out. So I wanted to be active on the lobbyist side. So I was going out there to Nebraska Street a lot in DC, which that's Homeland Security, talking to a couple cats out there. Actually, one of them who was the head of Homeland Security is my neighbor, two houses down. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna just say Barry. Yeah, yeah. So, because if anybody know Barry, they'll know the rest of his name. Yeah, but his first name Barry. Yeah, he was actually running Homeland Security out there in DC though, and he's small world. He's two houses down, but yeah, man. I was out there fighting for veterans' rights before I really knew what veterans went through. Before I started being proactive with doing like Wounded Warrior program type activities and all of that. But yeah, I don't know. It'll sound like I'm griping more than anything, but I'm all
No.
about pro vet. I'm gonna just say I'm all about pro vet because they earned it. Even if you
Yeah.
did 2 years, because I knew some people who said they had 2 years, and I was like, how did you sign up for 2 years? Because
Oh,
I should have did that when I first signed it.
shit, you could do
But
two-year like
yeah,
increments.
there
I
was a
didn't know.
Navy guy who said, yeah, he said my contract don't. Well, you know what, Navy, I mean, people in the military lie, so maybe he's lying because the least I ever heard was 4. I never
Yeah,
heard anything less, but 2 years is only heard that from one guy.
I heard
Saying,
4 or
yeah, I had
5.
a 2-year contract for whatever. Yeah, and mine was 5 because
Oh,
my MOS, or because being an air traffic controller, A school so long, they make you do that additional year that they pay you for and tax you. So,
yeah.
but if anybody's watching this video now, that I thought about it though, and you having a hard time with your VA benefits though, you definitely could reach out because my wife worked at the VA as a raider, and now she's not there, but we're both federal government employees. But we could definitely guide you in the right direction. I give you pointers because we didn't help plenty of cats with their VA ratings and how you want to word it. Because from inside when she is working there, they're battling with what is it uh what is it disabled veterans what is it DAV. Even though DAV is in the basement of VA, the VA employees, it's weird how they butt heads and they will throw back they'll throw back one of your claims just because of the wording. And it's
Wow.
kind of retarded. Like, come on, man. You know what the guy's saying. If he said my right knee is giving me pain, just because he didn't describe it the way you want him to describe it, the dude told you his right knee is giving him pain. But because the inside battles between DAV and the VA employees, that's another reason why some vets be getting turned down when they actually deserve whatever they're claiming. And there's little stuff like that. Veterans who don't know, you're just pissed on the outside. Like, what? I got evidence. I had knee surgery while I was in the military. What the f going on? But it's the person who's doing your claim. That's why a lot of them don't realize when DAV is sending you your rating or telling you the rating coming before the VA actually tell you your rating. They're still in there even if you're not because see, I don't use them, but
Mhm.
they're still in there whether you're using them or not because you're assigned to somebody. But yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, we do to help veterans and yeah, my wife's mom nonprofit. We done helped veterans when they were homeless and stuff like that. I remember the last one we helped was out there in Savannah. He was like a Vietnam vet. Some guy we ran into when we was just walking around Savannah, just eating and going from spot to spot, trying them out. So yeah, we're big on we're pro vet everything. Like if somebody see my social media, they might not think it. They might think, man, damn, how the hell do you travel so much and how do you put that? That's probably the main message I get. Like, damn, bro, when are you home? And I said, hey, man, I'm always home, but I'm not gonna be tagging myself when I'm at a restaurant. I'm usually gonna tag after I leave, unless it's one of them moments where I'm telling somebody like, all right, if you're a follower and you see me while I'm out here, I'll buy the first 2 rounds. Like I do shit like that just to. I would say that's like me tithing to the community. Yeah. Instead of tithing to the church, I just give it to the people. But
But
yeah, I do that quite often. Actually, my wife be get mad about it. Like, why are you just buying drinks? I say, hey, man, gotta enjoy life, yo. It's too short. Then when you got it good, you might as well give back, like I say, in some shape or form. Drinks might not be the best way, but like I said, if somebody need help with claims, yeah, we don't be charging people or none of that. Because we actually got like a financial LLC business on the side, and that's different, though. Yeah, so we charge for that, so that's different, but not to promote it. I'm just saying we're active and stay busy over here as
yeah,
much as
but
I get the rest of them hard times.
like you were saying though, like how it might seem like you're like groping or whatever. I don't think it is. I think like a lot of veterans are even like just the people I've had on would agree
Mm-hmm.
with you though. Like just thinking about like what you're saying, the things you saw and the way detainees were being treated and stuff. And then I was thinking of like you're saying you come home as a veteran that went through that stuff, or maybe you're one of those guys out or gals, whatever, that lost a limb.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about how you were treated there, and then you come home and you're still having to go through hoops to get help. I think that's where like I think a lot of veterans end up struggling is
Mm-hmm.
with that aspect of it. It's like already went through hell for everybody for the country, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
and then I come home and I still have to go through hell. Like you were saying, like a dude can get his claims denied because he put a different word in than the correct word, which is like how unfair is that to that individual who's I don't care how old you are when you join. I mean, to join the
Facts.
military in the first case is like fucking bold. That's a bold thing to do. I don't think civilians understand how like even when you do it, I don't think you really understand how bold of a thing it is to do. But then you
Mm-hmm.
do it and you go through it. Even like I mean, I never saw combat, but I had my deployment. I worked on the flight deck and like that camaraderie you build with everybody, and you go through the same shit. Everybody's going through the same shit together, and it's like one of those probably the most unique things about the military is that everybody's from all over the world, different places, different states. Um, it's and then to go through all that, you bleed with folks, you cry with folks, you meet people that become lifelong friends, and then you get out and you get treated like shit. Still, it's kind of a slap in the face. I think a lot of veterans get frustrated um, with how they get treated, and even like just fellow veterans. I think that's what frustrates me, and that's one of those things like you're saying, like how you're getting involved when you first got out of the
Yeah.
military, and like I wish I would have been more proactive. This is like the first year I've really, I mean, the podcast I started this year, and now I'm
Mm-hmm.
like doing a hiking thing. But it's like, man, I wish I had done this earlier. But maybe it's because I didn't really know how to be a veteran. Also, like you were saying, I
Right.
was navigating my own shit, so it's like I didn't really know how to maybe potentially help somebody or give somebody a voice to talk because it's really hard to navigate for those who haven't done it or even been in the military, or if you're a civilian, it's a hard thing to navigate when you get out because
Mm-hmm.
like I felt like I was behind the eight ball when I got out at 22. I was like, crap, my girlfriend at the time, my now wife, she was graduating college. I was like, damn, everybody's 4 years ahead of me because they went to college, they got degrees, they're like getting into jobs. I have just military, like that's it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 22. Like I feel like I should know what I'm supposed to do with my life, but
Mm-hmm.
it's it, in the next day is the weirdest day. I think you would agree. Like when you first wake up, it's the
And
weirdest.
you're not on that same schedule. Dang, I just don't go to the office from 7 to 3 or whatever my schedule was.
That's what's so weird about it. And then, like I
And
know
a
you said,
resume. that part threw me off because I was like, dang, I just wrote I forgot what we call it, evaluation. I always was just talking about my evaluation. Now I gotta say what I did and put it in a certain format because based off the job you want too, though. Yeah, for veterans, USA jobs is good, but it takes a while. So if you're getting frustrated, or most of them like to say pissed off or whatever
Mhm.
you want to call it, yeah, you got to give it time because I gave up on it when I first got out, which I ain't gonna say I regret it because you know what, we live and we learn. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, my shit worked out. Ain't I might have been grumpy, like you said, because see, some of them get out and stuff don't work out. Like, see, when I got out, I was proactive because I didn't want to be jobless, and I guess I was always ambitious anyway. So when I got out, I was looking for jobs and trying to figure out, all right, air traffic controlling KBR when I was in Kuwait, coming back from Afghan, planning on going back to do what is it, taps we do,
Oh yeah. Yep.
something like that. Yeah. I was in Kuwait before I was even finna go, and that's kind of like a transition part. When you leave an Afghan, they try to soften us up and get us out of that Afghan mindset, but you usually there only a few days or a week. So how soft are you gonna get somebody out of war zone mentality? And that's probably that's a whole nother conversation I done had with other departments about. Hey, you can't take a guy out of green light zone, where you got the green light to fire, which is rare. That's another conversation. Cause see, man, I got so much to say about that, man. The rules of engagement is so fucked up. when I was in Afghan, and it's literally a barbed wire fence like you see cattle stateside. When that is the only thing, why you got this guy who's just frowning at me, and he don't have a weapon in his hand, but he's damn sure mean mugging you. You know he's doing surveillance, and he's got his arms crossed, and he's just watching you. And I gotta sleep in a damn tent, 50 meters from this dude.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you not expect some people to be the ones that come back fucked up? Yeah. Because everybody handle it different. Of course, I adapt to where when we was getting bombed at the end, I know I just flip flopped it, but
No,
when
you're
we was
good.
getting bombed at the end, it becomes normal to you. Where I was like, "Fuck it, man, don't wake me up no more, man," because you sleep, you barely sleep as it is. So it's like, hey, when I finally sleep, don't fucking wake me up. And that's how I felt even when you hear the siren, because it wasn't whatever the hell it was a certain noise, and it'll catch your ear whenever you know a bomb's coming in. But I was just like, hey man, if it's my day, fuck it. But let me get a couple hours because I need this. Because yeah, man, I was with my ex fiance around that time though, so I could say I was a savage out there. But hey, I was if we wasn't in the gym and I wasn't out there hemming up detainees or volunteering to do a convoy, I would I wouldn't sleep. But then another tricky thing in Afghanistan, they're known for opium. So a lot of local nationals, whenever they're trading, they call it bakshish, which is gift over there. A lot of people who like dip, they was out there dipping that damn opium. So that's a whole nother reason why some people be messed up because
Mm.
they were looking for something to what do you want to call it, a release or whatever you want to call it while we was out there in a war zone. But
Yeah.
believe me, hallucins aren't the way to go. But I didn't judge nobody. It's just it gets tricky in a war zone.
Yeah.
and and when you boots on ground, it's not like everybody think. When shit's coming in the air, mostly when you out there on the convoy, you don't know which way the shit coming from. And them damn officers, mostly the newer ones, them bastards is scared as fuck, man. Like that's why I say if you've been through it, or
Yeah.
maybe it's not even about upbringing, because we had a guy who was just bragging about being a what is he? I guess detention center officer or some shit. That dude was. That dude clammed up, man. Like, man, that dude butt cheeks was tight to the mug when we made it out there. Once we started getting bombed, and hey, man, you don't know what you're gonna be till you in it. You know, you don't know till you make it there. Like we all had opinions. Like we all had thoughts. Thank God it worked out for me that I didn't shell up. Other than that first night, I'm not gonna lie, the first night, but we was all balled up in a bunker. Then I mean, we was all under like a bunker and trying not to get blown up. Because if somebody's shooting at you, I prefer that better than getting bombed. Because when you bomb, you're fucking defenseless, man. You're just like, damn, I gotta wait till this thing lands some fucking where. A grenade's different, you know. You kind of see it, but when them mortars and shit's coming and you don't know where the fuck it's coming from, you just hear the siren. That fucking sucks. Now somebody shooting at you, they wasn't fucking accurate. I'm gonna just say that. Now they can spray. The AKs, they nasty if they hit you, like M4s and M16s, or hitting like a assault rifle. That's why everybody crying stateside. But
yeah,
that's a whole nother conversation too, because I got an assault rifle. So what am I gonna say? Hey, and I feel like, hey man, if you're not gonna have a shotgun, you might as well have an assault rifle in your house to defend yourself. But that's all I'm gonna say about that. Cause see, politics, religion, all that, I usually try not to, or I don't have that conversation because it always gets tricky, man. No matter what the fuck you say, it gets tricky. But yeah, man.
no, that's the truth. Like, and then there's something about it too. Like if you're, especially if you're a veteran or something, I've learned this like the hardest way, man. Like I've told people like, I'm like, yeah, you know, I was in the military, I was in the Navy, like, oh, that's cool. So they automatically associate me with something like instantly, and then they start bringing up
Man.
politics. Like, dude, I don't want to get into it, man. I'm just like the same thing. It's like I have my opinions. I'm just gonna keep them to myself, you know, because and then it's gonna become a thing, and then I don't know. And I've seen that so much lately.
It can
Like,
get tricky because
you gotta be super careful what
it's
you
not
say.
a conversation. It turns into a debate. There you go. And then some people can't accept the other person's opinion because see, I'm pretty free spirited, and I can we could oppose each other
Oh
as
yeah,
far as when we're talking about what we want or what we believe you should push for. But like you say, it is tricky as a veteran because one of the last little counseling groups I did out there in Chicago. They had us a lot of PTSD cats out there for like 2 weeks. It was a state trooper fella. I ain't gonna put his name out there, but he's a cool cat, and he's in the Illinois area. But he said, yeah, when I first got out there, and I see he been boots on ground, seeing a lot of he's seen a lot of shit. Yeah, I'm gonna say hell. I'm seeing shit compared to what he's seen. But he said so when he first got out, you know, and he joined the state troopers. He was saying, yeah, I'm a veteran. You know, he was always saying he is a veteran to where I guess some of the other troopers would look at him like, he's a veteran. You know, so
no,
so he said that put him in a mindset where he shelled up and he just said, I don't even tell people I'm in the military. You know, so it's pros and cons. You got some people who serve. Like, see, I served. I don't tell them I serve when I'm saying, hey, thanks for your service. So when I say, hey, I'll buy your meal, you know,
yeah,
I'm doing it. I'm a veteran. A lot of cats see the dreads and they be like, they don't think I did it, but it was COVID why I said, I'm going to grow the hair out. I got tired of scheduling an appointment. And then when I schedule it, the barber say something came up. So I said, man, fuck that shit. I'm going to grow my shit out. I ain't got time for this, man. And so when I grew the hair out, yeah, fuck it. But one day I'm gonna cut it though, and then I'm a federal government employee. A lot of cats don't think that. Yeah, they wouldn't think I worked at the CDC with dreads. I'm at National Park Services under what Department of Interior. But then I'm finna go to IRS soon. Yeah, we're just waiting for HR to finish it up. But Puerto Rico got hit with a hurricane where HR said so.
oh shit.
It's crazy, man. Yeah. So I was on dude tail, but after he said, hey, we got hit with a hurricane, I was like, dang, bro, you know what? I haven't been following the news, honestly, because, you know,
Yeah.
when me and you were talking, I went to Vegas, man. I went to Vegas, found out I had bronchitis, so I was kind of, you know, bed rest, and I said, all right, I'm gonna try to do stuff more beneficial. So I was doing more kind of reading, but then I was binge watching some shows, trying to change it up because I was so hard in damn news and politics. I had to give myself a damn break, man. Yeah, because that shit there drive you crazy. But
It does, man.
after I
That
got over bronchitis, I was back in Vegas, and then and I knew I should have already started the job. And then I got this Atlanta tournament coming on this weekend, then the Charlotte one, and you got to produce for the sponsors. So while I'm out there training in Vegas to see where I was at, because I had to pull out of that event, that ADCC event in Vegas, because I knew my cardio wasn't gonna be up to par, because I had to pull out because bronchitis, your lungs are filled, and that's probably why I'm still clearing the throat, because they put me on steroids like for 2 weeks, and then I was on promethazine for like 2 weeks, so you know how it is, man. But anyways, I didn't have time to watch the news, so I felt sorry for Buddy when he responded to me yesterday saying, "Hey, we finally got internet connectivity," because the hurricane ended up hitting us, and I remember how Puerto Rico was. Was it 2 years ago? I think.
Yeah,
When the
it's
hurricane.
recently, right? Yeah, like 2 or 3
Yeah,
years ago they got hit.
yeah, and it was bad because they was begging us for help, but I was like, "Hey, ah, man. See, like I said, it's tricky.
It is.
U.S. territory, U.S. It's tricky, man. Yeah, all that gets tricky, and being out there in D.C., seeing how some of the cats move, it gets tricky because I'm actually active, like with Congressman Heiss. I was active with him because my VA claim. That's why I was active with him, and then with Senator damn, start with an R. The preacher. I can't think of his name. Warnock. Warnock. Yeah, I was active with them about my VA stuff and I was like, VA got to tighten up the way they doing these veterans, and that's why I was active. Like I said, with my local congressman and senator, and a lot of people don't reach out to them, but I would say that's another avenue you need to use because I got Congressman Heiss, secretary, and all them in the cell phone where you got to be on their ass because it's like, hey, elections every 2 damn years. No, I didn't say that though. Of course, with my situation, mine was obvious, and the VA was just dropping the ball. And
Well,
I'm gonna
there's
just say
like,
I'm in Georgia, so I'll let y'all figure out which VA it is. But they were dropping the ball, and
is that
and
the same VA where that video? Have you seen that video of the guy that gets beat up? He's in Georgia.
man, you know what? That's the same one, man. That one off Claremont with that.
Man,
Like, dude,
Adam had
how you
sent
gonna
me
beat up the
that.
guy who's coming to you for help? Now, at the same time, come on, vets. Y'all
I
gotta
know what
quit
part. I
giving us
know.
a bad name. You can't stick the finger in somebody's face now. You gotta be reasonable. But
That's
but
where I
after
was like,
you hemmed him up though, you can't kick him when he down though. You already
yeah,
hemmed him up. Now you want I didn't have no problem after he hemmed him up. But after he kicked him while he down and steady talking shit. Come on, man.
I agree with you on that point too. I'm not. Man, I'm happy I'm not the first one to say that.
Oh well,
but
well, here you go.
but
If that's my family member, of course, I'm gonna
yeah,
approach it different.
I watched it like maybe a dozen times. I was like, man, why would he do that? But then he gets right in his face and points in his face. And I was like, oh man, okay. So that's where that guy's already triggered. Yeah, and he
Yeah,
slammed against a door. I was like, all right,
yeah,
that's where it probably should have stopped. Like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah,
you don't do that, But
yeah,
then, yeah, he slammed him, kicked him. I was like, man,
yeah.
you took it, from
Mhm.
what like it looked like. Okay, you're just handling like a hostile little situation to you're now slamming like a super old guy. It
Yeah,
just
yeah.
doesn't look right.
I'll say like what do they say in the police department? Because I train when I train cross train in one of these gyms, it's basically where they adopt a cop, but they say escalation of force. Yeah, yeah. Because we used that while we was in the military anyway. When I did like the military police stuff, escalation of force, man. Like but I guess they don't train VA employees on that part. But you should know when you have a situation in control like that, man. Like yeah. If I know I got it handled, it ain't gonna benefit me to beat your ass no more. Like I don't know. Maybe dude had a bad day. Maybe his wife didn't give him no booty. You know, all them other. I tell you, that's how you know I'm a veteran, man. And
uh,
you have to find like some humor out of it. But
yeah,
I don't know, man. But fuck it, he got to get let go after that. And then
yeah.
that veteran employee that VA employee, when your ass is behind, and you know your office is behind, but you gonna go live stream showing yourself taking a bubble bath when people need their claim done, your monkey ass need to be fired too.
I haven't seen that
He's
one.
actually a manager. Yeah, he's a manager, but that's my personal opinion though. But social media makes some people do weird things. I don't know if it's for the likes or what, but you got to
Yeah,
calm it down, people. Yeah.
yeah. There's
I
some
get
cringe.
some weird DMs, man. Like I yeah, see, I get some weird DMs. Not I don't mind. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone. Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
women don't be just showing the skin. I'm married. My
It,
wife be on me.
and then Instagram's like the weirdest one when it comes to those types of things too, man.
Yeah,
Like,
because doing BJJ, you know, we always wearing rash guards, or cats like to take pictures with their shirt off. But hey, man, you gotta, golly, you know what I'm saying? If we had an event, I ain't gonna trip if you flash me personally. I'm a grown ass man. Treat it like the Mardi Gras, but come on, yo. If I
uh,
send out a story saying no more dudes, I really mean it because my wife is obviously on me.
well, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You put that one out there.
Hey, veterans don't cheat. I'm just putting it out there. No, I never met one that cheated. Never.
You know what?
Oh man.
There's some
But
truth to
no,
that.
man, yeah, honestly, back to what I was saying to the vets, reach out to your congressman. That's what we elect them for. Let them do their job, and when you reach out to them, you don't realize it, but they slide you up in line, and that'll put some fire on some tails who might just be sitting on your claim because a lot of people, if you throw in a lot of claims, what some veterans don't know, that's why your date keep getting pushed back because a lot of people will defer that claim
Mm-hmm.
because it takes some more time to do it. They're getting paid just a salary, so and now for the veterans who don't know it, the VA people are getting paid on a point system. So the more claims they could do, whether it's what is it, not approving your claim, they get like a point, and I think now they have to make at least, I think it's like 9 points a day or something. So it's half a point, I think, for not disapproving a claim. So it's retarded though. Like I say, that makes them when they feel overwhelmed probably hurry up and make a decision on your claim without looking through the notes. Like that's another thing. Request your record. I
Mm.
sent my record there when I first got out, not know out of ignorance. I didn't know no better. So they were saying they didn't see some information. I sent my physical record to them,
Damn.
and then they act like they never received it. But when I requested my record, they had shit from MEPS before I was in the military, and they had everything right there on the digital file that they could have. They have access to, but you got to request your stuff, and it's unfortunate we got to do the homework. And I know a lot of y'all like, hey, why y'all listening to me say it? Y'all saying the same thing I said. Is that's bullshit? Why am I doing work? Why am I being a
Yeah.
paralegal for a lawyer when I'm sending it to them and I highlighted, all right, I had surgery in this year, I had surgery in that year, but I'm not getting a rating for that shoulder or that knee, that arm. It's tricky.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
tricky. Yeah.
I mean,
They're
the
human like us, just like in the military we had shit bags and we had some outstanding characters. They're the same way. I know you're not trying to hear that shit if it's your claim, because I wasn't. And it took me a long time to finally get what I deserved. Uh but let's say if they send it to another location, that'd be great for you because you could always request another person to be doing your claim. But keep fighting though, because you earned it though. Anybody who pledged and served their time, in my eyes, you earned it. Don't think of it like a welfare. Because I hear some veterans say it when I'm like, man, why you not getting your benefits?
That's
Man,
me.
I don't
That's
need
me right there.
welfare is different. You earned this shit.
Dude,
Welfare, they requested it, they qualified, then they got the shit. But
that's
you earned that.
exactly how my mindset was. Oh, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
I have never claimed anything at the VA, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because I got out and I'm sure, like you're saying, a lot of people feel like the same way I felt. Like I was like, man,
Yeah.
I feel good. Like I don't know, nothing's wrong with me. God, I probably in hindsight should have really pushed for hearing. Working on the flight deck, I can't hear.
Man,
My
y'all
right
get it worse
ear,
than anybody. The
this guy.
3M, you should be on that 3M though, because a lot of the earplugs, because you had the earplugs, then the earmuffs on the flight deck. At least from what I recall, when I walked on there a couple times, they had you double muff up. But a lot of them had some of the 3M earplugs, and I had a buddy who told me, because he was on the Stennis when I was on the Stennis, and yeah, man, you need to reach out to them, because it's attorneys in Chicago. They're close to reaching a settlement. So for the veterans who aren't reaching out to them, and the veterans who aren't responding to the email, which that's another loophole, because I'm sure they're getting a nice stipend. They're probably getting 33% of
That's
the
me right
billions
there.
they're about to get. And you got to at least respond to the emails, because if you don't, unfortunately, that's another way they're going to stick it to you by saying, all right, we don't even know if that's his account because he's not responding. So at least send him a message like, yes, I got your email, or all my information is up to date. Because that's the
Mhm.
main email any class action suit sends you, is something asking is your information up to date. And y'all deserve everything, like I say, you you have access to, including military discounts. You better ask for your damn discount. Hey, my pockets are good, but I'm still gonna ask for my damn military discount because I did my time. Yeah, man.
And it's
Don't be ashamed, because like I tell you, my buddy in the one I met in Illinois. Yeah, it's unfortunate that he ain't ashamed of his military time, but he just said, yeah, I don't even like talking to people about it, because I feel like civilians who wasn't there was looking at him a certain way, and then you can't do shit about that, man. Hey, I could walk in the store. Matter of fact, talking about BJJ, I'm a black guy with dreads,
yeah.
and like Adam was saying, how he knew everybody. It is crazy how I was walking past legends in Vegas. Now I know the UFC fighters, because I follow UFC, but I didn't know the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys, because I just happened to do it because I wanted to go to an MMA gym and try to learn some of the stand-up, you know. So I still, and what's crazy, I'm about to be after this weekend, I plan on being number one in the world at Nogi, in International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation, which is the creme de la creme of jiu-jitsu. But I'm ignorant to like the people who came before me, because I didn't come into sport to learn the history. I went into sport more to be competitive. I wanted to find some on the outside. Basketball wasn't the best on the knees.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm not finna play football now. I'm out because I'm too damn old for that. And that just happened to be the sport that connected with me. And I still, my professor Majid was still telling me, all right, yeah, he actually started this. Yeah, he got his belt from the Gracies, which the Gracies are like God, or they're yeah, they're like God to the BJJ
Yeah.
community. So
Shit, even MMA now. I mean,
yeah,
just they're. I mean, yeah. If even people that don't know MMA or jujitsu, I'm sure have heard of the Gracies. Like
Gracies, yeah, yeah.
that name is like synonymous now with MMA and jujitsu. It's crazy.
So
It's
when I
really
walked
crazy.
past Roger Gracie at ADCC, people was like, "Oh no, you know what?" I asked, who was he? I asked the guy who started Six Blades. he just happened to be walking past me when I was talking to a black belt. Is it Will? Yeah, I was talking to Will, which he was at Altos, and Gordon Ryan was going against Gaval, which is Alto, who started Altos. So the fellow walking by me, and I said, "Hey, I asked just a random silly question, man." And when he answered it, he just answered it like, yeah. And then he walked off, and dude was like, "Hey, dude, you know who that is?" And I was just like, "I don't know." He said, "He's a legend. Like, you just stopped him and asked him like a white belt question." Because I asked something simple like, "Hey, when does the event start? When do the pros go out?" It was something random, like, because I was sitting right there on the floor, so it's like I had the best seats, but yeah, man. So other than like the main names, I guess MBJJ, who sticks out like a Conor McGregor in MMA. People who don't
Yeah.
know MMA know Conor because Conor did the stuff to get grasp your attention, like to market it.
Oh yeah.
So the ones who wasn't marketing it and who was just doing it hard, I'm learning them now because I'm trying to at least learn the people if I'm gonna be going to bigger events. That way I ain't seeming like a, what do you want to call it? Like I just don't give a care about the sport. I'm showing my respect by at least learning the history.
Is it different like that too at like BJJ compared to like I don't know if you've dabbled in other stuff or gone to other gyms where they do like maybe boxing or like kickboxing. Are they more like strict with their history like in Brazilian jiu-jitsu? They're like, "Oh, you like it's because it sounds like almost like that's where a lot of them are hold on to is like, man, this is like a prideful sport. Like it's not kickboxing." And I when I did jujitsu for like the 1 month, I remember they did Muay Thai there, and the guy
Mhm.
that did Muay Thai, he's like, "This is chess or checkers, and jujitsu's chess."
Mhm.
He's like, "I could teach you how to kick and throw a punch in a week, but jujitsu is like." I feel like that's how it's viewed to a lot of people too, like in that
Oh
community.
yeah.
Like, jiu-jitsu, maybe wrestling's up there too, but like
Mhm.
it's so technical and
Mhm.
harder to learn. Not
Mhm.
to diss anybody that does like stand up stuff because not that that's easy at all. But um, I mean, because it's a lot of just from this brief time I did it and then watching it, it's a lot of like patience too, like you're saying
Mhm.
before earlier. Like you're feeling people's bodies, people are moving certain ways, and I mean, you can't. It's not like you're standing up and seeing everything they're doing. I mean,
Exactly.
so I wonder if that's what you've noticed. So it's like it's more people are more
Yeah,
prideful
it's body
with
movements.
it.
Like the better you get, the better you could react to people's body movements. The better you could play like a magician and lead people into or have them move where you want them to move, so you can set them up for like a submission
Mm.
or a lock or something. You get better as it comes, like learning how to apply more pressure by just moving your hips a certain direction. Yeah, all of that is legitimate. Like I would say BJJ is like chess because you have to be more methodical for the ones who aren't as athletic. They learn the craft enough to be able to manipulate how you move the body. Yeah, yeah. Because you're not athletic, so you gotta do the next best thing you can do. You gotta outthink the person. Where if they're like a wrestler, like he was talking about with wrestlers I would think of as like a grunt compared to BJJ being more sophisticated because you're not just because the wrestlers, they got a gas tank. Now that's what I will
Yeah,
say. They got a gas tank.
yeah.
And when I first started jujitsu, it was at American Top Team, which is a wrestling base type gym. So a lot of cats when I'm at competitions because you build camaraderie too when you compete a lot. You build camaraderie with the ones who compete a lot as well, or people, let's say on social media, just reach out just because they see you take a picture or see you competed somewhere, and they'll ask you questions to try to pick your mind. But wrestling is more having a gas tank, out dueling a person. And of course they have to have certain positions to transition, like with their underhooks. They're big on underhooks and shoots.
Hmm.
Vice jujitsu, that's a part because I always start standing up in competitions, but then, well, jujitsu could happen standing up as well. Let me say that, but most jujitsu is on the ground, which
Yeah.
they say 85% of fights go to the ground. And like y'all start standing up, but sooner or later, somebody's gonna just try that little tackle thing. Somebody's gonna try to tackle you and take you down if they can't swing too well. But I seen the difference based on to answer your question though, because it was an MMA gym, but they had the but kickboxing was like a cardio kickboxing. They had like the MMA class, they had the actual Muay Thai class, which Muay Thai out of the striking ones, that got to be the most brutal one because them nerves in the shin, coming home bruised. That was my wife wasn't happy about that. When I'm coming home with a purple thigh, or I'm over there limping in the doorway, yeah, she wasn't happy about that. But Muay Thai,
It's
that
brutal.
rubbing the broomstick or that not the broomstick, but that little rod down your shin to kill the nerves. I guess I call me what you want to call me, but I didn't have enough balls to do that one. I was just like, hey man, this shit too painful. Like
No,
maybe if y'all would have caught me when I was younger, I would have been down to do that retarded shit. But
I don't know, man. Like when we went to Phuket, Thailand, we actually went to a Thai
uh,
fight,
yeah,
and man, it was like I can't remember how much it was, but we sat like ringside. It was probably like $5, you know,
yeah, because Thailand is hella cheap, from
hella
what
cheap.
I've been told.
Yeah, you can bargain, you can do all kinds of stuff. Like they're bringing us beers and everything. Like it felt like you'd be like watching like a Mike Tyson fight, like ringside or
Yeah,
something. But it started off with kids. Like I can't remember the age group. I think it was like I want to say like 6 years old,
wow.
maybe somewhere around
Mhm.
there, and it went into like teenagers. And then there was an American guy or fighting also. We didn't get to stay that late, but I remember the kids fighting, and it's like, oh, like these kids could whoop our ass. That's what I was. I took that. That's what I took away from that because,
Yeah,
like you're saying, how violent it is. You
hmm
can the sound of a leg hit another person's body live.
yeah,
Holy crap! That is. It's almost like when you hear baseball get blasted. That's
yes.
what it sounds like, but it's limbs. It's somebody's
Mhm.
limb getting kicked, and these kids were throwing elbows, throwing knees, and I don't know how they even go sit down after like the round's over and get just watching it. It's brutal. And then I remember seeing the first time I ever watched or seen Muay Thai was Anderson
Mhm.
Silva against uh, Chris
Yeah.
Lehman back in the day, and then Rich
Mhm.
Franklin when he just got him in the clinch, and he just it was like that was like the first time I think anybody realized like, damn, this is freaking insane. Like nobody was doing that at the time.
Nope.
Knees to the face like that and busting people's noses, and they couldn't get out of the clinch. Muay
I
Thai,
always thought the front kick stuff. I always thought the karate kicks and all that. I was like, man, this don't work in a real fight. So I seen Anderson Silva front kicking people in the chin, and I was like, wow,
yeah,
like,
when he did to Vitor, I was surprised. I was like, damn. I was like, poor Vitor, man.
yeah, man, Vitor, man, yeah, man, that was a nasty kick to the chin, though, man.
That fight, that leading up to that fight, my brother my brother got me into like MMA early on, just watching it
Okay.
because he's older. So I was like, always started watching like Pride and stuff, and
Oh, y'all, yeah. See, I knew about it, but I wasn't watching. I think my father
oh
was,
man,
but
Pride was freaking nuts.
oh,
That's like
brutal.
no holds bar type show. It's like
One Ken
soccer.
Shamrock in Pride, I think. When he back there in Pride days or beginning of
Yeah, he was
UFC.
in UFC. I don't know if he went to Pride, but they had Vanderlei Silva, um,
Vandalay.
Al- Alistar Overeem, and stuff like that. Were there Vitor for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Rampage Jackson. That's when I fell in love with
I
Rampage.
remember the wrestler and that Asian with the big head, like the heavyweight Asian with the big head, and that wrestler with the mustache.
No, that's Dan Severn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where they grabbing each other heads and just steady. I remember that one, man. That's some crazy shit.
dude,
Yeah.
that's like some bar fighting shit right there. That was
Hey,
even MMA, man. That was
like,
like
dude,
straight
y'all
up.
not gonna let go of each other heads and just swing it out. Like that's some you hit me, I hit you, yeah, stay and just man, hell nah, bro.
I'm pretty sure they were knocked out a few times, but the other person is just holding them up with their.
Hey, seriously, man. Didn't even realize it. Like you could have won the fight But you,
Oh man, but yes, getting back to like your Brazilian jiu-jitsu and stuff too.
Mhm.
But so I know you do a lot of competitions or
Yes,
rank
sir.
freaking number. You said number two in like the world.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I should be number one after this weekend, and
so
I'm saying that humbly.
how does that even how did you even get to this point though? Because like you said, you picked it up what 6 years ago,
Mhm.
and then you've been out. You got out the same time the same year I did. I think you said 2011.
Right.
So what were you doing before you got into jujitsu, and then why did you what all right, what am I trying to say here? What about jujitsu? What about jujitsu has really stuck with you? Like, because I know there's like the gym aspect where it's like
Mhm.
the camaraderie is probably somewhat similar to being in the military, I would imagine.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of curious on how your journey to it happened and now why are you so good now. I mean, that's crazy in just 6 years. I feel like that's fast for jujitsu. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Social media wise, I guess other fellas been saying, man, you got your belt too fast. And
Oh man, so now
personally, what I tell them when they say that, I say, hey, I wish my damn professor would have chilled out and not gave me the belt so fast, because I would have did all the buys. I would have went to the Europeans and I would have beat some ass at a lower belt if he wouldn't have promoted me so swiftly. Because you see these pro fighters and then they're like a blue belt, and I'm like, how the hell is that possible when you would easily drag people through the gym? But sometimes they call it sandbagging, but then
mm,
like I say, it's tricky. It's based off your gym too, though. Because see, some professors like John at New Wave, I guess since their talent level is like next level, they continue to have their fellows just do like super fights or professional fights, kind of like when I did Fight to Win. That's considered like a professional fight, or any of these invitational events. Those are professional fights, but they're not promoting them. Although how I'm competing, and I actively was competing from the beginning, just because, like I told you, I'm competitive,
hmm
and either you have it or you don't. Because I done ran into people when I travel, I go to traveling gyms, so I done been, and we go into Africa in January. So when we go to Africa in January, of course, as much as my wife like, no, don't go to the gyms. Fuck it, I'm going to a gym out there. So everywhere I go, I'm going to a damn gym. So I get to see people out there and different gyms. And some people are good who just work a 9 to 5. That's probably some of the best damn competition I ran into. They just don't compete. And then some people can't afford it because it's not cheap to compete when you do IBJJF Vice doing a new breed or a Naga, like a local, more of a local, and they come more often type tournament. They're half the price, but you get to do everything. Vice me just doing it in the gi or the uniform, or me doing no gi, just for that one division. The price I'm paying is more than what people paying, for both divisions
Oh
at
wow.
these other tournaments. And you still get a ranking, like yeah, yeah, they still give you a ranking and all that if that's what people go for. Me, I go for basically to say I'm the baddest motherfucker out there. Hey, because here you go. Some of the guys who most of them look up to, they're probably an asshole. And me, I'm more pretty candid. Like I'm gonna be modest. I'm gonna be humble anytime anybody greets me. And then when we're about to compete, everybody, even the ones who I'm cool with, know I'm coming to bust your ass. Because the thing is, I'm doing it to basically, yeah. I want to dog everybody there, and then I want my name to be out there as far as Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. That's what I strive for, and then to get better. anytime it's something somebody did to me in a competition, I'll look at it to try to see where can I improve. And the saying is, you don't lose, you learn.
Mm.
That's the saying, but fuck that shit. If I lost, I took a L. I'd rather learn, because a lot of them say you'd rather learn in a loss than win and not be good. No, I'd rather win, and then you teach me in practice what the hell I could have did better, and that's my mindset, and then I'm honest. So that goes into why I think my following blew up, and then why my sponsors fuck with me, because in the end, I usually don't. I'm only cussing because I hadn't heard previous people do it. Because of course, if I had to keep it Disney, I would be like a politician where I'm saying, then I would go about this course to be methodical whenever I go about doing that thing. You're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
be more thoughtful. And to anybody who knows somebody who's in a professional spot, a CEO of a company or a politician, them motherfuckers cuss more than, man, I done ran into bishops and pastors out there slanging out words that surprise me. Hey, and that's just with me being truthful,
Yeah.
because a lot of people, they don't want to say it, but hey, I'm out here to tell you. My father is Dr. Bishop Thomas Moore. Yeah, yeah. So I ain't saying my father. Yeah, yeah. Let me go and correct that. Yeah, not my father. Having my father haven't been like that. He's definitely tight-lipped with it. But before Hurricane Katrina came, them bishops out there said, "I'm gonna get my motherfucking check before this hurricane comes." Hey, but I ain't gonna argue with the folks. Believe me. Like I
Hey,
say, I grew up in the church, but I'm a grown man because I'm grown now. You know what I'm saying? So don't shoot me shit. Yeah, no, don't tell me the grass blue when I'm
yeah,
looking at green grass and the brown hay out there while the cows eating.
that shit's funny as hell because it's super true. Like when I go home, when I go home, or even when I just talk to my parents on the phone, like we'll video
Yeah.
chat, and my dad starts just cussing like crazy. My mom's like, "You never do this until you start talking to him." I'm like, "Fuck, man, I'm just such a bad influence." Like,
Hey man, I swear they say that, man. But the thing is, I don't think of us as a bad influence because my wife said, here you go. I have a bar downstairs, and I got a bar in the house. I bought all this expensive liquor, thinking, all right, I'm finna make this the best damn bar ever. You know what I'm saying?
hell yeah,
And then I quit fucking. Well, I didn't quit drinking. There you go. I'm a social drinker. So I'm only gonna drink it when people come. Like I used to drink watching a game or something. I don't even do that shit no more. Like that bugs me out because it's like now I got a fucking bar. What the fuck? But but when people come over, I'm always gonna be that guy. Hey, let's take a shot then.
hell yeah.
Like, hey, now we took a shot. Oh, you think that liquor smooth? Try this liquor that I brought back from Bahama. Hey, man, Bahama rum. If any veterans go out there, try that Bahama rum, man. If you don't just like that hard liquor, the Bahama rum, it'll sneak up on you, and that shit's legit.
Fuck.
I don't promote liquors. I'm not getting paid for that. I'm just telling anybody who go to Bahamas.
Yeah, I was like that
That's a
with
good drink, man.
I was like that with tequila, man. Like when I first met my wife and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and she was going to college in San Diego. Like we'd go to these like parties and stuff, and she's like,
Mhm.
"What are you doing?" Like I got a bottle of Patron, I was just sipping on it. I was like, "I don't. This is what I do. This is what I fucking do. I put it in the freezer. I'd let it chill all day, just knowing that night I'm just gonna pop that lid. I'm not drinking anything else. I'm just
Yeah.
walking around, just playing some beer pong. Maybe I'll drink some beer because they're doing that. But
Mhm.
while I'm in between throws, I'm taking. I'd get through like half a bottle. Like this shit is fucking ridiculous. Like how am I alive the next day? You know?
Man,
Like
you are solid for that. See,
yeah,
I don't drink anything straight in. Well, here we go. I take the shots. I'm all about shots, and when I take shots, now what I drink is Azul. So I got like 3-4 bottles of Azul down there. That Don Julio, and I used to just drink whatever during the military days. Like I didn't have a really certain preference. Maybe it was Long Island iced teas. So that's how you know my style was just, it was bad. So I started getting schooled on, all right, these are the better liquors, but I still like flavor though. See how you was
Yeah.
drinking it straight? People be drinking that Don Julio straight, and I'm just like, man, this thing will have my stomach on washing machine mode, man. If I try to drink with you. So yeah, cause so people showed me like better whiskeys to have. So
Mm.
maybe I ain't got the juice. I still got to mix it. But when I take shots, I'll buy that wild turkey on your ass, man. If we're out in the restaurant, and then I'll switch it up to Azul on you, so you'll be like, oh, that's smooth as hell. But I get it chill, because when you get it chill, that's the shit to sneak up on people. You get that hot shit,
Oh, yeah.
like hot sake or hot whatever. That shit is brutal, man. That's
That,
like
that,
dragging me through the mud.
it hits different when it's hot, but yeah,
Oh,
I'm the same way. Like if I do shots, especially mainly with tequila, it's like I'm doing it with no lime, no salt, man. Like just
man.
give it. I want the burn. Give me the burn. Not
Yes,
that I do.
man.
It's been a minute, but I was on the bourbon kicks too for a while. I got like kind of
Mm-hmm.
crafty with it. I was like, oh man, it's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because I started when I was first, like when I first got in the military, is like Jack and Cokes were my go-to. I was like, man,
Hey, seriously, man, that's a go-to military drink.
that's all I know. I was like, fuck, I don't know. Like, first time I got underage served in the military was at Hooters because everybody's like older, and I was like, I don't know, a fucking Jaeger. I was like, I don't know, what do I get, man? I was
Man,
like
that cough syrup tasting beverage, yeah, everybody like Jaeger and Jaeger bombs, but the
fuck,
women definitely loved it, man. I was just like, don't
stupid.
bring me no lemon drop shit, no EA. Bring me the most potent shit you got, and we're taking a shot. We don't take shots of lemon drops. Yeah.
Yeah, I did one called Scooby Snack, and that shit would sneak up on you. I don't know what the fuck was in that thing, but man, I'm
The
telling you,
name alone got me, man. Scooby
it's called
snack.
Scooby Snack. That I don't know what the hell is in that thing, but we did a
It was
handful
potent.
of them. Yeah, it
Wow.
fucked me up.
That might have been a moonshine on a cool. You know how
I'm
they
al-
got these flavor moonshines at bars, man. They'll
I'm
get you.
also I'm also like really weak when it comes to vodka. Like I can have like a shot of vodka, just one shot, and then not having for the rest of the night, but get hammered. And I guarantee I'll black out. Something about vodka just makes me black out every single time if I get drunk. Vodka will just I'll wake up just like what? Not even a headache, just confused. Like what happened? I don't remember anything. I learned that in high school. I learned that one early, but it happened to me a handful of times afterwards, and I was like, "Man, did I have a shot of vodka?" And when I
Man,
was in the Navy, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we did vodka shots." I'm like, "What the fuck, man?" They're
damn,
like,
bro.
"I
That's crazy.
told you guys, I can't do that stuff, man. I black out. Why am I waking up in a bathtub?"
You gotta start telling them I got allergies to vodka.
Like those potatoes, man. What the hell's in those potatoes?
Just
But
something, bro. That's funny though.
yeah,
But yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I might mess around and drink. Nah, cause see, I got a tournament the weekend after that. Yeah, I'll mess around and drink after that Charlotte one though, man, because everything's happening on that Saturday. Vice most tournaments is usually the gi on Saturday, then no gi on Sunday. But yeah, like I said, I got a damn bar that's not even being used. It's not getting cobwebs or nothing, but yeah, man, it just
yeah,
feels weird.
yeah.
Feel like
But
I should do something about it.
But hey, man, you know what? I'll be pulling for you on those tournaments and stuff.
Mhm.
Can't wait to see how you doing them and everything. So I know you got some sponsors as well. If you want to give them some love before we call it a night. And God, was it 3 hour difference for you over there?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
So where are you located now? What part of Cali?
I'm like very east of LA, so I guess like I'm like between the desert, which is like Palm Springs, and like Rancho Cucamonga, I guess would be like the
Okay, yeah,
location.
I'll be in LA in December. So man, you catch me out there. You and the wife could come and I'll get y'all a meal because me and the wife gonna be out there in December for like the no gi worlds. But yeah, as for sponsors, gotta shout out Battle Bar first because I seen Ian was on here earlier.
Yeah.
It's only right, man, because Battle Bar, I rock with him the long way. And I'm here to tell you, he wasn't lying. The Rice Crispy treat, it's legit, man. Like
It is.
they dip it in multiple flavors. Now, You could have gave Navy some love on that blue one though. That I never told them that, but you could have gave Navy love on the blue one. Like Air Force, man, they're sitting in lawn chairs, bro. They don't deserve it. Like they're watered down. They're softer than wet bread. My wife is retired Air Force, so hey, I'm telling you, and I stay with one. Like hey,
Yeah.
they Navy earned that blue. But anyways, Battle Bar, even if they didn't sponsor me, and no BS, even if they didn't sponsor me, I would fuck with Battle Bar. Now he didn't want to name the other ones,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I guess I ain't gonna name it. But that fucking Cliff Bar was dry as fuck. I'm gonna put Cliff out there, man. They was fucking dry as fuck, man. And because the military was notorious for selling Cliff in like the store on the ship.
Oh yeah.
I ate the shit because you had to tolerate it, like I said, and then the supply guy would hook me up. And I'm just letting you know, Navy. Now I've been out long enough. Don't try to come after me for no damn $1.50 bar off the ship store.
Dude,
But the
yeah,
Cliff Bar
Cliff
would have
bars.
been good.
I
But
knew that's what he was saying before he
yeah,
said
without
it.
saying it, yeah,
And
yeah,
I was like, man, because I've had those. Like when he was like those dry ones, I was like,
yeah,
in my mind,
man.
I was like, I know.
Man, I done bought them at the gas station before I'm about to go work out because you got to have something in you, honestly.
Yeah,
Because if you
I've brought
work
them
out
on
and you
hiking.
low, you'll get lightheaded. It's miserable, and if you eat something heavy, you'll vomit because you're overworking the body. But Battle Bar is legit. But that's my sponsors. Alex out there, he got his CrossFit gym. He's a veteran as well. Ian, he, he is in the Army, but Navy would have rocked with him had he came over that way. But to each his own. I
I didn't
don't
even
care if
think
you
about that.
officer, if you enlisted, Army, y'all got to tighten up, man, because you be treating your people. If any general is looking at this now, because I'm out now, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm out now. Like I told you, I'm tight with the politicians too. So hey, you know what I'm saying?
Oh shoot.
My name got some clout. Y'all need to tighten up on how you treat your people, because them bastards is loyal. While Navy, we'll talk bad about you. We'll let you know. Hey, Chief, you a shit bag. Hey, Army can't do that. I mean, they treat their E5s like like E7, E8. Because and Marines do the same thing too, though. Their loyalty to the chain of command and yes, Sergeant, all that is different than Navy. Navy. Now, of course, we still respect it overall. Yeah, for any other branch that's hearing me, we still respect it. But like I say, we talk more like siblings. Now, officers is different. Yeah, yeah. But I'm
Yeah.
talking about enlisted wise, and once you get that camaraderie, or if somebody's ruffling your feathers, yeah, yeah, you're not still gonna do it like the Army and Marines do it.
Oh yeah.
Air Force, y'all are just different. There's no disrespect. But Battle Bar, rock with them. With True Warrior Nutrition, yeah, they're a pro green supplement company, all about the amino acids and everything. They're a sponsor, and both of those are veteran owned companies that sponsor me, and I'm very appreciative and humbled that veterans are sponsoring a veteran. And I I represent each brand very well. Now, people who's buying this product, I might have to get in my followers' asses. Like I'm usually softer when I'm talking on my Instagram, yeah, about it or Facebook, because all the families on Facebook. Instagram, I can go a little bit harder because not as many aunties and stuff is following. So I go a little stronger on there sometime, But I appreciate my veteran groups for supporting the veteran, and I'm gonna always do my part. Beat a ass when I do a tournament like this weekend. Nobody don't know it, and since this interview is coming out later, I'm coming in here with bruised ribs, baby. But I'm finna dog these boys because hey, they don't have the juice. Yeah, like they don't have the juice. They're not training. They probably are training with professional athletes like I do, but I cross train and something about BJJ. If you talk to anybody else who do it, they're very loyal. Cross training is like gangs. Without
Mm.
gangs is a bit aggressive, but they will beat your ass up when you go to their gym because they don't treat you the same but I think I have enough influence to where they don't just hit me up. But Perry is all about BJJ gear. That's another one of my sponsors. They sponsor a lot of professional athletes, and I thank Perry. I met George out there in Vegas when I was out there in Vegas last week, and I'm very appreciative that Perry took a chance on me, even though they usually get bigger names and people who know Justin Gaethje, Gaines and Bolts. They sponsor me. Matt out there gave me a shot when other people. I don't know. The thing was, after my first two sponsors got on board, the rest of them, it's like they just started falling in line about, all right, it's a little buzz about this guy. And then I'm 38, so you can't say kid. I'm not a cougar, though. Let me put it out there in case y'all looking at me. I'm not
Oh
a
my god.
but but I'm thankful that Gaines and Bolts took a chance on me as well. Jim, you see them in every GMC store. I rock with Jim hard. I was already buying they product before I decided to reach out to them on social media, and then they said we'll give you a shout. And the doctor decided, similar to Battle Bars, how Battle Bars wanted to make a better protein supplement without the extra stuff that they can hide because of FDA, not FDA, but yeah, FDA,
Yeah.
that you're able to hide without telling the people who you're selling it to what you're hiding. You know, Battle Bar is doing it more of a natural way. That's the same way Jim did it with the doctor who made his own product, where he's actually selling the supplements, and he don't have that extra stuff in there that's gonna have you fatty. Excuse me, yeah, drinking a coffee because I still got to cut some weight. Yeah, I'm actually gonna work out once we get done, and then hop in the sauna afterwards in the basement. But yeah, Jim, they doing it a healthier way, and I actually support that type of stuff is going the healthier route. And nowadays, man, there's so much stuff getting thrown in our foods and everything else. You might as well play it safe because I'm gonna eat whatever the hell I want to eat. Uh, I was cutting at the beginning, but I'm here to tell y'all we weigh in the day of. I'm not now when I do the professional events, they let us weigh in the night before, which that is great. But when you weigh in the day of, I'm tired of that shit, man. You know,
Yeah.
not eating ice cream because I'm trying to maintain a weight. Forget it. I go at my natural weight, and the guys who cut, I have more energy because we weigh in 30 minutes before your matches start, you know, and you don't know how many
Oh,
matches you're gonna have. I'm tired of being low on energy, man. So I
that's
just said,
crazy.
hey, if it's meant to be, because I'm gonna have fun with it, but I'm gonna give it my best effort. But Jim, I was already buying their amino acids and their proteins before that, and I'm trying to think because I don't want to exclude nobody because I have so many. Oh man, Underdog, the Christian-based company. I was rocking with Underdog hard, but I got to tell you, Underdog, hey man, I got to keep it PG-13 too much. So Underdog, still got to say I appreciate you being one of the first sponsorships though. But I yeah, I gotta tell y'all I appreciate you. But I'm gonna tag you so you can see this interview as well. Yeah, but I gotta remember, man. Dang, hold up. Let me pop up the IG real quick because if I exclude them, it could get ugly. It could get ugly, man. Golly, it'll be quick. Oh man, I don't know how I forgot it. Artibus. I'm gonna be rocking your gear at No Gi tomorrow, and then you sending me a competition rash guard where I'm gonna
Oh,
have the veterans groups. I'm gonna have Battle Bar logo. I'm gonna have a True Warrior Nutrition's logo, and when I do professional events, I'm gonna be wearing Artibus gear and Artibus clothing. I support them hard because them cats, them cats been they've been behind me 100% of the way. Once we actually united, because they're a small group, but the fella over him, he does jujitsu as well, and he's a purple belt just like me. And I remember he was injured, and he was saying, "I'm gonna send you the gear. I'm gonna send you the gear." And I was like, "Hey, man, honestly, bro, I'm blessed. I'd rather you just worry about the nerves in your neck and your health and all that." Because he said his memory was jacked, which he had just told me that like 2 weeks ago. Like, hey, I was forgetting stuff all the time, and I was like, "Hey, man, I appreciate your sponsorship, but I'm not that guy who's gonna bug you about, hey, send me this, send me that. If you're hurt, man, we're fucking men first.
Yeah.
Hey, take care of yourself, because shit, if you die trying to send me some damn clothing, I'm not gonna get the message first off, but then your health is priority." So, and I think that's why it went so hard for me, because he noticed that I was authentic with advice, just trying to get everything I can out of him. Because with all of them, I tell them, hey, I'm thankful and I'm very appreciative of it. And just like I told you, when I'm out there in LA, because we're definitely gonna stay in contact. Yeah, come meet me. Hell, I'll take
Oh,
y'all
yeah.
out. That's how I feel about it. And with veterans in general, if you don't follow me, I'm not gonna just throw the social media out there, because I'm not bugging for it like that. But when I post, I buy y'all the first 3 rounds. I mean that shit. And when people run into me and I said, hey, I said 3 rounds, but we finna take shots, buddy. We're about to get it, baby. You thought I was just gonna give you a
Oh,
cocktail for you and your woman? Nah. Bring her ass over here too. We getting shots. Yeah, yeah. So so I am authentic with whatever I say. I'm not gonna just sell it, because shit, I'm good. That's all I can tell you without telling too much. But yeah, I'm very appreciative that I was able to be able to come over here on the podcast and be able to speak my story about what happened throughout my Navy lifestyle, and then just talk about life with you, basically being sailors, and kind of like being on the mess deck BSing when we're not working, getting that
oh,
release
yeah.
away from work. Yeah, I'm very appreciative that I was able to be a guest on here.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, I appreciate coming on. My freaking computer's about to die right now too, so I'm like, oh man. But yeah, I appreciate it a whole lot though. I mean,
Yes,
it's
sir.
cool. Yeah, I don't have too many Navy cats on here, so
No, man.
we're different, man. So it's like it's easy. I don't know what it is, like you said. I don't know. It's just Navy's just the best, I guess. I'm sorry, everybody. Navy's
Oh
the best
yeah, you know
branch.
what?
So
I meant to say this. Yeah, not well. I didn't mean to say it. I just happened to be in my wife's office. I'm gonna plug her grandma in. She got put in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Her name's Candy Staten. She just sold a book, Beyond a Shadow of a Doubt. So
awesome.
she just put her book on there, and I think she was on a Steve Harvey show or something with it, and I forgot what other shows. It was some other show, but uh, if you are a fan, and support their movement, because that's my wife, grandma. That's just some random plug, man. That wasn't even part of it. But like I said, I'm giving y'all a shout out though, because I'm
Thank you,
finna
man.
dog these cats come Saturday or Sunday, and I'm gonna tag you in it for sure when I
Awesome, dude.
take
I
my goal.
appreciate it so much, dude. Yeah, you have a good rest of your night. I know you're gonna go work out, so
Have to.
go after it, dude. We'll be rooting for you. I'll definitely can't wait to see what happens. So.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Thank you.